Hi everyone and welcome back to episode 4 of Versus 5 with me, the United City FM. Welcome back. So we play Udinese today in the Serie A. Our Sassuolo side have gone through a bit of a loss in form, quite a considerable loss in form to be honest. It's been tricky the last few matches. We kind of need to get back to winning ways. Can we do that today? Let's see. So here we go again for another Versus 5 series episode. If you don't know what Versus 5 is, it's 2 teams of 5 content creators on each team. They're then paired up one-on-one with 5 different challenges assigned to each of the 5 matchups. And my challenge is to take Sassuolo on in Serie A. Old Lady Plays is doing the same thing. We're playing our individual seasons, and whoever gets the most amount of points in Serie A in one season will take the tie. So that's the challenge before us. We went for a really good patch before last episode, and we really gathered in the points on Old Lady Plays and came out of last episode with a 2-point lead over her in terms of what we had in the league. But I think things might have changed a little bit because my run of form has been fairly dreadful. Let's check it out. So in the last episode, we got this 2-0 win against Spezia at the top of the picture here. And the run of form that we've been on since, you can see, has not been fantastic. There was a loss in the Italian Cup, which doesn't really matter to the series that we're doing at the moment. But then all of these Serie A matches do, and there's too many losses in there and a couple of draws as well. Now, the losses are against some of the really big sides. Fiorentina, Napoli, Lazio, Juventus, all in a row. Before that, we'd played Inter and Roma as well and beaten both of those two, which I was really surprised at and really pleased by. But it was such a bad run of big teams to have to play. And it really did dent us. Those last 4 matches have been a real problem. We've never quite got going in them and never really challenged either of them. The only one that was close was the Lazio game, really, where I thought we were going to do all right. And then they they snuck a winner and we lost the points. But yeah, ultimately, this run of form has to change. And today we play Udinese. And Udinese currently sit in 8th position with us in 4th. The good point, after this particular match, there's only one team in this top 7 or 8 that we have to play after this point in the league, and that is Lazio one more time. Other than that, everybody else that we play is outside of those top 7 or 8 places in the league. So hopefully there are better games for us to come, and today, let's see if we can turn it around. So last time you and I were together was mid-January, so there was still a little bit of time left in the January transfer window. I didn't bring anybody else in. I tried because I did sell a couple of players. Let's just go briefly have a look at that. We won't do it for too long, but the players that we got rid of are the bottom couple of players really. Ahan and Raspadori, they went out of the club, and so did this guy Mandrelli. But he's only a 16-year-old from our youth academy. So it's Raspadori and Ahan that both left the club for a little bit of money. It did enable us to pick up a little bit of funds for the transfer kitty and quite a good wage. But I spent a long time trying to find a couple of players that could potentially come in on loan or for small fees that I could pay bigger wage fees or switch it round and put the wage into the transfer budget. I couldn't quite find the players I was looking for, really. I put a couple of offers in. None of them were accepted. In the end, I decided to just go with what we've got. And what we've got has served us so well so far. But obviously, that recent run of form has just been a little bit of a problem. So what we've got as an issue today is we've got Locatelli out. He's suspended for the next game because of picking up too many yellow cards. We've got the likes of Boga, who's just come back from an injury. He could play a little bit for us today, but I don't want to risk him too much. Obiang is in the same position with his fitness as well. So all of that means that for today's match against Udinese, we're still in our 4-2-3-1 custom gegenpress, and we've got Consigli in goal, Toljan at right fullback, Kyriakopoulos at left fullback, Marlon and Chiriches in central defence, Lopez, Barabia and Juricic in central midfield, Berardi on the right, Jones on the left and Same up top, and pretty much everybody else on the bench. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So I've suggested to the players it's time to end this poor run of form, go out there and make it count for us. Obviously, being away from home is always going to be tricky. Udinese's recent form is very good in the league. It was suggested to me in the build-up, so that's something to look out for. Our form obviously is atrocious, and we're sitting in like 18th in the form guide at the moment, but 4th in the table, and it's about time that we showed why we were there before that really tricky run of games against all of those big teams. So let's see if we can do that today. So it's going to be a kind of a game of trying as hard as we can to keep pressing at them on the gegenpress, pin them in and try and counter-attack them quite high up the pitch. But obviously, they're going to be quite a defensive unit. It looks like 3 in central midfield, but 3 at the back as well. They're going to look for potentially counter-attacking with those 2 front guys possibly on us when we're pushing high up the pitch. So we've got to watch out for that. But 33 minutes in, and we get the first highlight. It's been very dull so far. And it is possession for Udinese at the back at the moment, passing it around quite nicely. They sweep it out wide left. Almost we got the opportunity to nick the ball from them then, but then a real wayward pass does give us the ball. And then we boot it over the top for the goalkeeper to... What was that? That was dreadful by Chiriches. There are reasons why he hasn't played all of the games for me. Toljan on the right-hand side, though. Berardi takes over, gets onto his left foot, and that is why he plays all of the games for me when he's fit. Berardi hasn't been fantastic this season. I was expecting an awful lot more from him than I've got so far, but just recently has shown up with a couple of key goals. And there is an absolute thunderbolt of a goal. And at 34 minutes, we take a 1-0 lead away from home against Udinese. And that is much, much better than we've been showing recently. So let's see if we can keep it up at least through till half-time so we can get them in and focus them for the second half. And we do. The statistics for the match seem to suggest that it's quite even, really. Some good pass completion. The possession is in our favour, which is really strong. That's good. Got to make a little bit more of the chances that we create, though. 7 attempts at goal, only 2 on target. Need to maybe up that ratio a little bit. So let's go into the dressing room. We can pump the fists, say things are going well, but I know you're capable of even more. Let's send them straight back out there. And then we can praise the team as we go out and see if that boosts the morale, boosts the confidence, gets the ball on the into our midfield and let them move it around and open the space for us and see if we can find a route through to a couple more chances at goal. But just at the moment, again, it's Udinese down the left-hand side. There was a chance there for the defender to get in and he didn't quite manage it, but Chiriches, I can never get his name right. I struggle with that one. Redeemed himself from the earlier issues that he was having. Got a good tackle in. But then, just as I'm praising the defence, the ball comes over the top, completely escapes all of them. And Deulofeu runs on to the pass and slots it in the back of the net for 1-1. If there's no offside there, which I don't think there was, our defence went completely to sleep, completely switched off. Is there an offside? They are checking it. There isn't. It was a good goal. Humph. That's a problem, isn't it, really? We were doing pretty well up until that point, I thought. But a little bit of lax defending. There's a chance for Berardi. Didn't really run onto it and take the... What was going on? Just at the point where I was going to berate Berardi, he puts a decent cross in, and Curtis Jones on the far side gets in there ahead of everybody else and slots it home for 2-1. At this point there, I thought he was going to lose the ball for not really challenging the ball properly, but he got there in the end and then actually performed a nice piece of play to cross the ball in. Berardi having a good game. There's a corner kick, though, for Udinese. And at the far post, they get a header, but it's over the top of the bar. And at 55 minutes, we do have that 2-1 lead. What do I want to do here? I want to stay as we are just for a little while. We're in the balanced mentality. I could take the gegenpress off, but I think it's potentially what wins us most of our games. Like there, you can see them nibbling at the ball and unsettling the Udinese players. So I think we'll keep it playing the gegenpress for now. But mistakes like that, who was that? Was that Chiriches again? I don't believe this. For the first half of the season, we were playing so well, and this recent run of form has completely messed up our confidence. And it was Marlon that time. Apologies to Chiriches. Yeah, it was so bad, wasn't it? He just let it drift over the top of him. And we go 2-2. So 72 minutes in, and we've got to do something about this now. So we are going to go into the tactics. What can we do? Let's think about this. I think we're going to have to potentially go 4-4-2 maybe. Bring Caputo in and play a 4-4-2 and see if we can chuck a load of crosses in the box maybe for the two strikers. So which of our midfielders comes out? And I think we're going to have to take out, if we take out Juricic, so we take him out, put Caputo on, move him up front alongside Nsame. So that should work. And then we're going to switch into the wing play. And we're going to try down the right and left side to get as many crosses in as we possibly can. So let's, okay, those two, that's fine. And now let's see what other personnel changes we can make. Kyriakopoulos having a really poor game. So he comes out. Rogerio comes in for him. And do I take Juricic out? Or do I take Barabia out? I think I'm going to put Funes Mori in at the back. And hopefully he can secure us a little bit more discipline in that central defensive area. That's what I'm going to do. 4-4-2, wing play, 2 up front. Let's see if we can pile drive them with lots and lots of crosses and get something from this match. So we're going to go and demand more from them. So that's done. And actually, we're going to go into the attacking mentality because we've got 12 minutes left and we've got to find a route through. So let's see if we can bombard them. It doesn't look like it's happening so far, though, does it? 5 of those 12 minutes have already gone. And it looks like we're going to be getting a slightly disappointing draw. Yep, there you go. Final whistle. Slightly disappointing draw. Don't think I could have wrapped that up any better myself, to be honest. Old Lady Plays is very good at this game, and I would suggest that she must have taken advantage over the fact that we've had this really, really bad run of results. Has it completely done us in? I don't know, but we've got about 8 games left now to play. Only one of those top sides to remember. So let's see if we can turn this around for the last part of the season and properly get back to winning ways. For this match, though, Udinese had the better of it in a lot of ways. Their attempts were higher. Their attempts on target were better. Their XG rating was better. We did all right in terms of possession, but we didn't make the most of it. We didn't make it count. Look at all of these 6-point-somethings in and around our attacking area. Only Berardi had a good game. I'm really, really disappointed. But there we go. That is Football Manager. That is football in general. These things happen. We've got to bounce back next game and see if we can get back onto the winning track. So here we are back on the schedule page, looking at what's to come. As I say, one more big side to play. I mean, Milan are in there as well, but they're in like 10th this season. So obviously not quite hitting the heights that they would sometimes do in Serie A. But yeah, 8 games left. Some pretty good games for us to play in there. We've got to get back on the winning run. And we come back next episode for the very final game of the season to wrap all of this up and see how we eventually did. Benevento are the opposition for us on that final day of the season. That's a good game to finish with. But if we haven't done the job between now and then and got back onto winning ways against some of the more slightly tricky sides, then it won't really mean much, will it? So we've got to find a way to get back to winning. Let's see if we can do that. Come back next episode for the wrap-up episode, finalise all of the Serie A matches and see what our total is, and then see how we've compared against Old Lady Plays. Of course, she releases videos at the same time I do, so go and check her channel out for her current episode to look at what her last few games have been like. Surely it can't have been as bad as those sort of 4 losses in a row that we had against the really big sides. So go and check that out. We'll see what happens between now and next episode. And then who knows, maybe there's still a point for us to win for Team UK against Team Rest of the World. I think it might be a little bit more tricky than I hoped, though. There we are. Anyway, I'm kind of a bit flustered by all of that. Let's see what happens. So thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate all the support on this particular series. It's been great in terms of the numbers that are viewing it. Keep that going. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and join my United City community. Click the like button on this particular episode for me. That will help me to continue to grow the channel. Until next time, where we wrap up verses 5, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.